Warm greetings, code monkeys and fellow VEDSies, and welcome back to CodedLockFilms. So, I know that a lot of people give the Harry Potter movie adaptations a lot of shit for changing stuff and whatnot. And, the same points get, brought up all over and over again. Most notably, Harry didn't put your name in the Goblet of Fire. We all know him. But, can I just take a minute to talk about one change that I actually really, really like? It's a small change, but I think it's a really cool one, and it comes in the Half-Blood Prince, where Harry and Dumbledore are about to leave to go and get the Horcrux. Well, the fake Horcrux, which they don't know it's a fake at the time, obviously, out of the cave. And in the book, there's this whole long process involving where they have to, take a stroll basically all the way into Hogsmeade and go through this whole elaborate ruse and all that stuff. And it's just kind of long and complicated. I mean, it works and it helps to set up some other things later. It helps to be sort of the catalyst for explaining, how Draco was doing what he was doing, that his contact was Madame Rosmerta under the, Imperious Curse. And that's all fine. But the Harry Potter movie streamlines all of that in, I think, a really creative and kind of fun way, where Dumbledore just, they're up on, in the tower where, in the headmaster's tower where Dumbledore lives, and he just puts out his arm and instructs Harry to take it. And Harry says, but sir, you can't apparate in and out of Hogwarts. And Dumbledore just looks at him and says, well, being me has its privileges. And I really like that. I like that it's kind of ambiguous as to, is this something Dumbledore can do because he's the headmaster? Or is this something Dumbledore can do because he's Dumbledore? I just think that's really fun and really cool. And it's a very small moment, but it really contributes to Dumbledore's mysticism, I find. Because, one of the things that you run into with a lot of series that heavily involve, spellcasters and wizards of whatever stripe is that the magic tends to be demystified in a lot of ways. And especially in Harry Potter, the magic, for the most part, is very sort of academic, and it's just, it's a thing. And there's not, a whole lot about magic that is strange and mysterious. I mean, there's mysteries in those books, but those are really more about sets of particular circumstances rather than about the in and outs and mysteries of magic. Magic doesn't often feel all that mysterious in a lot of fantasy stories, because it's it's essentially a job. It's a career people can aspire to, or it's just an inherent part of the people in the story, as in the case of Harry Potter. But that line, being me has its privileges. That's one of those rare moments where I really, really found that, yeah, magic felt mystical and special to me again in that moment. And I appreciate that. I really do. I think that in general, the Harry Potter movie adaptations are a lot better than people give them credit for. Still not as good as the books, of course. That's not a surprise. You all know that. You all should know that that's my opinion by now. But I'm a fairly big apologist when it comes to the movies. I think they're better than people generally like to acknowledge. And in some ways, it's always the way that the movies have been treated by the fandom over the years has been I feel a little unfair in a lot of regards. I could go into that a whole lot, but that's not so much what this video is about in a broad sense. This is about just a small thing that I really appreciated. And I think that in general, we ought to do better at finding small things and taking time to appreciate those small things, whether that be in video form or whatever. In fact, if you've watched this far, my fellow VEDSies, let's go ahead and make this a challenge. Yeah, that sounds good. Talk about something small that you really appreciate. Something genuinely small and inconsequential in the grand scheme of everything. Just a little thing that you really appreciate. Tell us why you appreciate it. And, yeah, I know there's not that many days left in VEDS, but hey, this could be something to fill out one of those last days. So take that and run with it if you like. And until next time, good monkeys and fellow VEDSies, I will see you tomorrow.